Jaya Radha Madhava Nikuñja-bihārī Jaya Radha Nikuñja-bihārī Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajanaran Yashodanandana Vrajanaran Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. नमो विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शता भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की, भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासित गौर भक्त वृंद की, अंतर्विपायपुर धाम की है, वृंदावन धाम की है, तुलसी देवी की है, भक्ति देवी की है, समावेद भक्त वृंद की है, गौ प्रेमानंदे, all good assembled devotees, all good assembled devotees, all good assembled devotees, all good to Guru and Gauranga. So please welcome to today's class. Are you doing the schedule?
No, not part.
Yeah. So I was stay one few minutes. You are going away? Yeah, okay. Because it's interesting. Usually they write Nikuñja-bihārī dāsa.
Yeah.
This time it was written GGS. So I asked my wife, what is GGS? So she says, the great guest speaker. Does it make sense? What was the GGS? Oh, that's it. Now the reason I brought up that issue is that they teach us before they even make you devotee. This is since time immemorial, even Prabhupada. He says, Gopayet devatam istam, Gopayet guru atmanaham, Gopescha nijan mantra, Gopen malikam. 4 things you should not talk about, you should always try to hide it. If someone is asking, are you following Lord Shiva? Are you following Krishna? How about Mother Durga? Just, whatever comes in my mind, I worship, but don't discuss my Ishtadev. That's one thing. Then, who is your guru? Who is your disciple? Then you should not discuss much about it, If you see, notice, I'm saying this in open, but never told before, all my life. I walk away with ticket, They say beating the parking ticket, that kind of thing. So I never put my guru's picture on my altar. I do 24 hours arti, puja, offering everything, but my guru's picture you will never see on the altar. Gopaye is Guru Atmanaha. One should not know. They will look at the picture and say, oh, that's a Radhanand Maharaj's disciple. Oh, that's a Prabhupada disciple. They say, no, I don't want that. So somehow I managed to do that. And it worked well so far. Gope Nij Mantram. What mantra you are chanting? Like in subway when you are doing this, a lot of Oriental people and they are curious about it because maybe you may be a Buddhist, but you don't discuss the mantras with you. And Gopiyet Malikam, always hide your bids, the mala. So that's what they always say that. So when I read this GGS, I figured out right away that that's what they are trying to separate with. But there used to be senior Haridas and junior Haridas, even in time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They never mentioned Guru's name or anything. They don't want to get into that issue. They just call senior and junior. And when you look at the Nikuñja-bihārī, you can say that this must be senior and the other one must be junior, I mean, if he feels offensive, why, how come, why they make me junior, then it's a different story. But otherwise, it was a little joke that my wife says, you're a great guest speaker. And now I have to, since I said that, I have to prove that. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srila Prabhupada gives the translation for this particular mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He says, I meditate upon that pure and spotless supreme absolute truth, who is free from suffering and death, and who is in beginning personally revealed this incomparable torch of light of knowledge to Lord Brahma. So that's Vasudeva, right? Narayanam namaskrutyam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, unto Nar-Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. By regularly listening Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So these are the two verses that we usually chant before we even touch Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So let's, last time when I was here, that somehow there was a typo, mistake in writing the particular verse that I was doing. It was a different verse in typing. It doesn't matter, I mean, it's not a big deal. People don't even know what we are talking about. But the thing is that today we are going to read from Canto 2, Chapter 9, and verse number 7. Is it there? On your screen also, right? Beautiful, beautiful. So, the verse is like this. Nishyam tadvaktru didrukshayadisho Nishamya tatvaktru didrushayadisho Viloka tatranyada pashyamanaha Viloka tatranyada pashyamanaha Swadishyanam astaya vimrushitaditam Swadishyanam astaya vishrumyataditam Tapasyupadishta ivadade manaha Tapasyupadishta ivadade manaha. Anybody wants to chant? You know?
didrikshaya disho
vilokya tatranya apasyamanaha
vilokya tatranya pasyamanaha
svadhishyam asthaya vishrishya taditam
vadishnam asthaya vimrishya taditam
tapasyupadhishta ivadadhe manaha
tapasyupadishta ivadade manaha nisham yatadvaktri didrichayadisho
Vishamya tadvaktru dikdrukshayadisho
vilokya tatranyada pasyamanaha
vilokya tatranyada pashyamana
vadishnamasthaya vimrishya taditam
swadishyanam astaya vimbrusya tadditam
tapasyuta upadishta ivadade manaha
tapasyupadishta ivadade manaha.
nishamatadvaktir didrikshaya disho
nishamyata didikshasya disho
vilokya tatranyada pasyamanaha vilokya tatranyada pasyamanaha svadishnyamastaya vimrishya taditam svadishnyamastaya vimrishya taditam tapasyupadishta ivadade manaha tapasyupadishta ivadade manaha.
Prabhu, you want to chant?
Vilokya tatranya pasyamanaha svadhishyamastaya vimrishya taditam tapasyupadishta ivadade manaha.
Mataji, would you like to? Vishamya tadvaktru didrukshayadisho viloka tatrandata pashyamanaha swadishyanam astaya vimbrusya tadditam tapasyupadishta ivadade manaha. Mataji, you want to? No. Okay, everybody did great. This is not easy verse, but Srila Prabhupada is so merciful that he gives even the word-to-word translation. And that is, here we say, Nishamya means after hearing. Tat, that. Vakrut, the speaker. Did Raksha, just to find out who spoke. Dishaha, all side. Vilokya, saying, Tatra, there. Anyat, any other. Apashyamana, not to be found. Swadesham, on his lotus sit. Asthaya, sit down. Vibrushya, thinking. Tat, it. Hitam, welfare. Tapasi means in penance. And upadishtaha, as he was instructed, eva, in pursuance of. Adadhe, gave. Manaha means attention. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. When he heard the sound, he tried to find the speaker, searching on all sides. But when he was unable to find anyone besides himself, he thought it wise to sit down on his lotus seat firmly and give his attention to the execution of penances as he was instructed. So I think it's clear enough that when Brahma couldn't find anybody else besides himself, he made sure that that must be coming from Krishna. And that's why he just tried to follow the instruction instead of going for a search. Purport by His Divine Grace. To achieve success in life, one should follow the example of Lord Brahma, the first living creature in the beginning of creation. After being initiated by Supreme Lord to execute tapasya, he was fixed in his determination to do it. And although he could not find anyone besides himself, he could rightly understand that the sound was transmitted by the Lord himself. Brahma was the only living being at that time because there was no other creation and none could be found there except himself. In the beginning of the first canto, in the first chapter, first verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it has already been mentioned that Brahma was initiated by the Lord from within. The Lord is within every living entity as the super soul. And he initiated Brahma because Brahma was willing to receive the initiation. The Lord was similarly initiated everyone who is inclined to have it. As already stated, Brahma is the original spiritual master for the universe. And since he was initiated by the Lord himself, the message of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is coming down by disciplic succession. And in order to receive the real message of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, one should approach the current link or spiritual master in the chain of disciplic succession. After being initiated by the proper spiritual master, in that chain of succession, one should engage himself in discharge of tapasya, in execution of devotional service. One should not, however, think himself on the level of Brahma to be initiated directly by Lord from inside, because in the present age, no one can be accepted to be as pure as Brahma. The post of Brahma to officiate in the creation of the universe is offered to the most pure living being. And unless one is so qualified, one cannot expect to be treated like Brahmaji directly. But one can have the same facility through unalloyed devotee of Lord through scriptural instructions as revealed in Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam especially, and also through the bona fide spiritual master available to the sincere soul. The Lord himself appears as a spiritual master to a person who is sincere in the heart about serving the Lord. Therefore, the bona fide spiritual master who happens to meet the sincere devotee should be accepted as the most confidential and beloved representative of the Lord. If a person is posted under the guidance of such bona fide spiritual master, it may be accepted without any doubt that the desiring person has achieved the grace of the Lord. So, such a beautiful purport Srila Prabhupada has given. But you have to go to the right person and accept him as the right guru for you. So here is in nectar of instructions, we already saw that vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jihva vegam udara upasta vegam etan veganyo vish het dhiraha sarvamipam prithvisa shishyat. So we are very fortunate that this other three people besides those who are initiated, these are the candidates that may be thinking in their mind, because I know when I was in a class, I saw these people in our class, and they are already qualified to take initiation. So don't wait. This is the instruction right here by Srila Prabhupada, and we are fortunate that you are here. We are discussing that part also. So a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genital is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So these are the what you call qualifications of a guru. So anybody cannot be your guru. You have to come to ISKCON in order to take initiation and get the proper instructions. So, like Prabhuji was also discussing, I heard your beautiful lecture the other day, and Rama Prabhu also spoke very, very well. So, it's all lingering around only two syllables, two alphabets, two letters, whatever you call, from ABCD of Sanskrit language. And one is the 16th syllabus and another is 21st syllabus. The words are ta, pa, ta and pa. It's such an organized language. The NASA, I read about 5 years back, that he advertised that those who know English, Sanskrit, they can take a job. And they hired 25 people, those who were able to read and write Sanskrit. Because they found that it's such a great research, simply even on the language, that nobody actually organized everything. Every sound, for example, if I say, come in sky, you know. So this word, ta, pa, right, although spoken separately, when you put it together, that becomes austerity, tapa, right? So everyone know that because we have been discussing this last few days already. So what they did, that Srila Prabhupada is so merciful, any book you pick, it explains this, a secret of the language. First of all, just like we have A, B, C, D, E, F, right? Similarly, so Sanskrit has ka, kha, ga, ga, anga, cha, cha, ja. And they are also not just any way it comes in the index or in sequence and you start to learn A, B, C, D. It could be spoken from any part of the mouth. That's okay. But Sanskrit say no, let's separate this. If there are 26 syllables, let's separate them. So one, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right, but gutturals means throat. Anything that's spoken by throat is separated. And those words are ka, kha, ga, ga, anga. If you see, they are coming from the throat. Then palatals. Palatals is right behind this upper teeth. That's talu, they call it, palate. So, and they are cha, cha, ja, ja, za, cha, cha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when you see cha, so that cha is spoken from there. Then cerebrals is murda, means the tongue, right? Thamal, or that is kamala dala jala jivana talamala, right? Jivana talamala. I mean, you may be speaking talamala is fine, but in English, in Sanskrit, this is a ta, is not ta. Ta and ta is very different. In tap, the word tap is tea, like people drink tea. So that is, and then, so that is ta, tha, da, na. All those 5 letters are spoken by the tongue itself, ta, tha, da, na. And dentals, that ta, tha, da, na is murda, ta, tha, da, na is by tongue, and ta, tha, da, na is by dental, that is teeth. And then labials, the lips, we are using the lips, use pronouns pa, pa, ba, ba, ma, pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. See, all this, only you use lips, no tongue, no teeth, nothing, right? So this is the organized language. And any book you pick, Prabhupada's, he gives, nothing to hide. because there are these verses that we are reading, they are in Sanskrit. Although it's translating in English a different story, but originally there is a Sanskrit involved. And what is that? Whatever you are reading, whatever is repeated by you from the speaker, and everybody is following and speaking together, sometimes reading purport and trying to understand what is all that. So that's what it is, that out of those, the 16th syllable, which is cerebral, which is dental, ta, and labia's 21st is pa. That makes ta pa. So Lord Narayana was trying to instruct Lord Brahma to perform austerity. What is austerity? Austerity is self-discipline. How much it is important? The most important. If you want to get the initiation, Guru will call you and say, you will have to perform austerity. What kind of austerities they say? No intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, no meat eating, right? And Srila Prabhupada says that all these 4 regulatory principles, they are all austerities. The word tapa or austerity includes all these things, although when you think, it can be divided into different parts. For example, satyam, the truthfulness or honesty, is no gambling. This structure, if you see, I have the plans, original plans. I measured this building inch by inch, like 35 years back when we moved in, and I have those plans. But if you want to erect this kind of hall, then there are 4 columns at the 4 ends. Similarly, what we call religion or Krishna consciousness even is based on 4 columns. That's the structure, right? And one of them is satya, shaucha, daya, and tapa. Daya means mercy, shaucha means cleanliness, satya means truthfulness, and tapa means austerity. So these are the 4 columns on which, our whole movement is rested. And that's why anybody is taking any kind of initiation anywhere in the world, no matter which language they are speaking, what color they are, and what education they have, what background, whatever it is. But as long as these follow this, they are qualified to be a devotee. So austerity involves no intoxication, and that's any kind of intoxication, either in form of liquid or in form of drugs or smoking or anything, Then satyam is a gambling, and shaucham is no illicit sex. That's the dirtiest thing. So one should avoid that. And daya, the mercy, the compassion, and that is towards the fish or chicken, cow, pigs, all kind of animals that people are eating. So that is, unless you have the mercy in your heart, you will not become vegetarian, because you will not have respect for fish. If somebody offers you a fish, you say, okay, let's have some. So that's the thing. Now, Srila Prabhupada says that these 4 regulatory principles are called tap. Only the word austerity is including all these 4 regulatory principles. So that is why Lord Brahma, the first and final injunction of Lord Narayana was to Brahma to perform austerity. Now, in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the first canto, first chapter and first verse, it begins with the word janmadhyasya, right? Tene brahma rudaya adi kave, tene brahma rudaya adi kavye, muhyantiyat surayah, the first verse. So, it is the only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Lord Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. So, Tene Brahmruda Ya Adi Kave Muyyanti Yat Suryaham. It is only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Lord Brahmaji. So here in this particular verse, Brahmaji realized that I have been instructed and I should follow the instructions, and that's why he's sitting into meditation. So it is very, very important that in practical life we'll walk, talk, all kind of things we do, all our activities. But the thing is that dhyana vastita tad gatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino. Srila Prabhupada says that when you sit down quietly and try to meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna, pashyanti yam yogi, you don't have to open your eyes, you can see the absolute truth as it is. You can see the whole entire world around you, understand the whole world around you, because everything is happening inside. Of course, 99.9% things are happening outside, but that very important thing is happening in your heart, in your mind. Why I say 99.9? Because there is an annihilation of this world. Once the world is created, we have to take it away also anyway. So it is being annihilated, and that is a nitya pralaya. Where I live, I mentioned last time also, I live next to the hospital, and 24 hours a day, beep, 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 emergency vehicle, they brings the body, takes the body away, brings the body, takes the body away, right? That's the nitya pralaya. Every day, somebody is taking birth, somebody is dying. That is the nitya pralaya. But that's happening outside, right? Naimittik pralaya. What is that? That is after 4 billion and 300 millions, when the day of Brahma is over, that time there is a pralaya, there is annihilation, right? That is naimittik pralaya. And then there is a prakrutik pralaya. That happens after 311 trillion and 40 billion years. That's at the life of Brahma is over, everything is to be taken away. So all these things, when it's happening every moment, that's why I give 99%. Most of the things are happening outside, you are not worried about. But the most important annihilation has to happen. What is that called? Atyantik pralaya. What is that atyantik pralaya? Prabhupada explains that when a person achieves knowledge of absolute, he understands factual reality. He perceives entire creation, universe as separate from the absolute truth, and therefore it is unreal. Right? Tattvamasi. Everything what you see is the expansion of Krishna, and that will be taken away one day. Right? So you don't have to worry and look at the nitya pralaya. That's not our business to count bodies, Then naimittik pralaya is also far away. Prakrutik pralaya is, 300 trillion, 311 trillion years, 40 billions. Oh, that's a long time, right? So devotees are supposed to focus on lotus feet of the Lord and then try to understand that anything separate from Krishna is of no use. It's not real even. It's just illusion. So these particular verse is very, very important. Just last week only we were celebrating Gaur Purnima. If you go to India, they enjoy a different way, because like I confess myself the part of the world I was living in, I never heard of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If I didn't come to America, I would never have learned about him. There are parts where they don't know anything about outer world. They are in their own world. It's a different culture, different religion, separated from rest of the world. So what they do, they do the Holika Dahan. You know, they have a logs of wood and they put in a like triangular way, make a pyramid kind of thing. And then they set up a fire. And then they put different things inside, you know, like just like we do swaha, swaha, that kind of, you know, it's a fire sacrifice kind of thing. And then it is also a tradition to whoever goes to worship that particular holy has to carry some pot, water pot. And there you can either sprinkle it or walk around with the water and drip the water, you know, around it while doing pradakshina or paraphernalia, you know. So people do that. Now, what happens? Is there any logical reason behind it? So the scripture says that there is fire and there is a water. So what happens? The result is that as soon as the water touches the fire, the water is trying to become fire and fire is trying to become water. It sounds, it creates some electricity, and there is some result, chemical result. When you, it's for example, this is a microphone, but if you put it in the oven for many hours, what will happen? This iron will become like a ball, hot, right? And you say, well, this is iron, it's very cold, you can touch it. But now can you touch it? If you touch, you will burn your finger. So the metal tried to take the heat from the fire and the light from the fire and became light, right? So similarly in the holy, when they are trying to use the water is trying to be fire, fire trying to be water. What's so big deal about it? A child can understand, but what we have to understand, that our body is dead, right? It has no any values for earth, fire, water, ether, no meaning, you know, no life whatsoever, right? When you touch the wood or when you touch this earth, does it have any life? No. They are inert, jad. But our Atma, our soul, is full of eternity, full of knowledge, full of bliss, right? And that, when the body and the soul, when they are together, we can speak, we can walk, we can do all these things, that's right. But why? Because this dead meat, the bones, they came in life, in touch with the Atma, with the soul. But at the same time, just like water is taking away the light and heat from the fire is also cooling down because of water. So what happens, that body and soul, when they meet, then one is temporary, all the 5 elements are temporary. So the temporary nature is affected on the soul itself, who is eternal. And he forgets that I am eternal. He thinks I am going to die. So there are 5 things. Avidya, something that we don't know, right? That happens, that is first. Then asmita. Then whatever activity you are doing, you think, oh, I did this, that's mine, this is mine, you know. I and mine, asmita. Avidya, first was ignorance. Om ajnana timirandasya gnana. Why do we chant that? Because we are not in knowledge. The Guru has to give us the knowledge, right? So first, that ajnana, avidya, something that we don't know, has to go away. And learning by this particular holy, we have to learn that these two things are very separate. Our body is different and our Atma is different. Prabhupada, every day, at least once a day, he will utter this sentence, we are not this body. No matter he is speaking to a devotee or is giving a lecture, the bottom line was, we are not this body. Then who are we? We are spirit, soul. So, that's what we have to remember, that the soul is eternal, but it just assumes that he is temporary. Same thing happens with the senses. Senses is life. So, avidya, asmita, raga. Then once you are in touch with something, sanga sanjayate kama, kamat krodham abhijayate, krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat buddhinashaha. So, this is where how we destroy our beautiful body, beautiful life, everything we destroy. Why? Because sangat sanjayate kama. If I see something good here, I would like to put it in the pocket. I've seen a lot of people, because I've been long enough, and I've seen things just vanish, boom, just like that. Why? Sometimes you have to put a booby trap sometimes. Try. Nice, wonderful kartal, and put it there. And the person will come, look around, and just try to put it and walk away. Nobody says. People used to take the paintings from the lobby. See that lobby over there? Beautiful painting, just good. One person ran away with we had a museum of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is right here now. But Prabhupada used to wear particular beads. And one guy came, and he came to visit the museum. Oh, it's beautiful, nice, it's a spiritual master, this, that. And then he took the bead bags from the Prabhupada's neck, and he walked away. And the devotees were running behind him, that kind of thing. So the thing is, sanga sanjayate kama. That's not his fault. That's because he is a spirit soul, but he's assumed that he's body. That's why we have to remember we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. So raga is something that can attract, anything can attract us. It doesn't have to be woman or wine or anything. So then dvesha. Dvesha is that if you don't get something, you get angry, and then finally you start hating that thing. That, okay, I don't want this, I hate it when it comes to this, that kind of thing. So raga, dvesha is like something that either you accept it or reject it, that kind of thing. So, and the last one is a parinivesh or abhinivesh, which is a fear of death. Because soul is eternal, and now he is in contact with the body, just like earth knows that it's temporary. The water knows that's a temporary. As soon as the sun comes out, it's going to get evaporated. The water knows that, So the thing is that that's why soul also starts thinking that it's very temporary. One day he has to die. Everybody's dying in COVID. Oh my God, I will also catch one day, Rakhe Krishna, Mare Krishna, Rakhe Krishna. Devotee is not afraid, right? So what's going to happen, going to happen. If Krishna wants to save you, he's going to save you. If Krishna is going to kill you, even if you do not go out at all, right in your bedroom, you'll spend 6 months and you will die, right? Did she die with COVID? 99% people, I'm a priest and I always got phone calls about, when to do the ceremony and this and that and all kind of, and 99% people are not dying because of COVID, right? They didn't even go out. They have no exercise. They can't eat anymore. Their blood pressure is high. Their weight is too much now. Cholesterol level is going up, right? And they are bored. Nobody is there to talk about. So don't lock down yourself. Just try to become Krishna conscious. Go into the kitchen, cut the vegetables, serve the food, go out with Gopal Champu and distribute the books. There's plenty to do, This body is not going to come back to you again, right? Either you will be a roach in a kitchen, or you will be Indra or Brahma, somebody, but use the body in the best possible way. So, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesh, parinivesh. And how can we take care of avidya? So that is why only Guru can give you vidya. He can give you the knowledge about all these things. I'm not speaking, I'm just speaking from these books. And that is why you have to have a Guru. Right, Mataji, you understand? Yeah? Prabhuji? You understand, right? Okay. Very good. So these are our future candidates. And have you made up your mind about Guru or anybody? You have any mind? Who is that? What's the name of?
Looking for someone.
He's still looking.
Looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it. No, what I mean, I can recommend you. No, don't worry about it. But it's high time now for you guys, because I've been knowing the Mataji used to work for Target nearby, and every single day. The sun may not rise, but she will be here. She's so punctual. And some of these people I will never forget. Rain or shine, they will come to Govinda. And this one of them. Because of COVID, everything got screwed up and people got irregular in their life. It's not their fault. But she is one of them. And that's why I say it's high time for you to find a Guru. And we can always guide you about that. And thank you for coming. And I don't speak her language, Mother. You speak English? Yeah? Are you initiated? Initiated? No? Okay. Anyway, so one of you can talk to her also. This is like old days, because I grew up in those days and when, movement had started and all that. But not even a fly can enter the temple without being instructed or preached. And not even a fly can go away out of this room without collecting something. I used to give 1/4 only, right? It's okay for devotee. 1/4 donation is fine, no problem. But no one will leave this place without giving. Something you have to give. They will ask, right? They don't mind to be a beggar for Krishna. They will ask for donation. They are not salesperson, but they don't mind to be salesperson when it comes to Krishna. Prabhu, take this tag. Always there's something in their hand and they will try to pass on. The girls will move around with the flowers, the roses, that's offered to Govinda with a little pin. And as soon as they see somebody, they will pin it right here. A guy will pull out $1 and give it to her, So you have to be very vigorous, passion for the preaching. That's what Prabhupada taught us. And that's why I'm saying that, although it's not part of my job, but the thing is that when I saw you, I was thinking of that maybe you are already initiated. And you should not have waited. Bhakti Charu Maharaj was there, I remember. And he came twice, but you didn't take initiation. So now it's time for you to, come forward and tell your friends also, family members also, try to join the family. We need you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So it's time for the breakfast or something like that. Are you hungry? So this month we have another celebration. Last month or last week we had an appearance of day of Gauranga. Now this month we have appearance day of Lord Rama. And talking about instructions and Guru, and I just read from Nectar of Instruction that the Guru must have these qualities and this and that. Now, Lord Rama appeared, just like Lord Krishna came to take care of Kamsa. Lord Rama appeared to take care of, one who was the gatekeeper at the gates of Lord Vishnu, Ravana and Kumbhakarna. So he killed them. Now, is it possible that Ravana can be Guru? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. In the final hours, when the Lord Rama is shooting an arrow, it went right into his navel. And there was a pot of nectar in the navel. And it started dripping because it was pierced. And this is how Ravana's death was predicted. So he fell down. And that time, as soon as he fell, Lord Rama asked Lakshmana, he says, run, go and get any instructions if you want. He says, go to who? Ravana. He said, Ravana? You remember Mata Sita? Don't worry about Mata Sita, don't worry about Rama, don't worry about anything. If you want to learn something, go to him. This is his final moments. So this is in Ramayana, that Lakshmana was just what you call devotee of Lord Rama. He was a servant. And just like we pick the order coming from any other senior devotee or guru, we follow. So Lakshmana went, and he started sitting near the face of Ravana to talk to him. But whatever he said, he would not even accept his obeisances. No sign of any kind of response from Ravana. So Lakshmana gave up and he came back and he says, guy is very proud, he's dying. He doesn't want to talk to me. And you say, take instruction. So Ram says, wait a minute, where did you go? Where were you sitting? Is it near his face? No. Tad viddhi pranipatene pariprashtena seveya. Upadekshanti te gnani tattvanadarsh. You have to be humble. You have to sit at his lotus feet. Is the lotus feet of Ravana? Yes. If you want to learn. The fact is, what he's trying to preach Rama is that the absolute truth or the truth may come from any source. It doesn't matter. In 11th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, there is a story of Dattatreya. It's called Avadut, that's a different story, but 52 of them, even a sparrow, a snake, right? Anything he sees around him will be a guru, spiritual master, right? So important, the spiritual master. You can learn something from somebody. It doesn't matter, it could be Ravana. So he says, you realize you have to go to his feet and sit there. Then only he will talk to you. So he is sitting at the lotus feet of Ravana. And Ravana started speaking. And he said, Lakshmana, I want to tell you two things. Lakshmana says, what? He says, Shubhasta Shigram, Shigram, Shigram. You know, what it wanted to say, that if there is a good thought in your mind, if you are planning something good, if you think you are going to do in 2022, no, do it in 2021. If you think you will be doing next 6 months, do it this month. If you want to do it this month, do it today. And if you are planning to do it today, do it right now. That's what Ravana's injunction was there. So taking initiation, if you are finding and looking and, no, don't waste your time. Do it today. Shubhasta Shigram, Shigram, Shigram. So why he said that? Lakshmana says, how do you realize that fact that I must do it now and don't waste time for good thing? Ravana says that it's not for me. Usually demons, they always are self-centered and they want to always plan and do something in their favor, you know. But he says, I want to do something, it would have helped me. But anybody can use that once I do that, you know. So what was that? He says, I wanted to create a ladder. People are talking about going back to Godhead. But he says, I had ability, I had money, I had intelligence, I had all the boons that I want from any demigod, you know. I was so powerful. I could have built a ladder going back to heaven, he says. I could have walked myself, and that ladder, anybody could have just walked over up after me. Or anybody with desires can go that way, you know. Once you built a road, right, then anybody can use that road once you are gone. So this was the in scripture there is a particular verse that ekdanaimisharanyam rusha shonakadaya, for the sake of others, something that will benefit somebody else, that kind of thing I had in my mind, but I kept postponing. And today I am dying and I will never be able to build a ladder. So that is my first injunction, that any good thought comes in your mind, act on it right away. And the second instruction, if you hear something that is not right for you to do, some bad things, some bad plans, ideas, bad thinking comes in your mind, so kill it right away. He said, my sister asked me that go to Rama, kidnap his wife. She's the most beautiful woman, and I've never seen any other beautiful woman on this earth, and you deserve as your wife, so kidnap Sita. If I didn't hear, and even if I hear, and instead of acting on that, I should have postponed it. Okay, maybe next year I will do that, right? Then I would have saved from that. So is any bad thinking, if you have any bad thoughts, planning, some instructions even, if you are coming across, postpone it and don't do that. Postpone. And never do that, you know. So these are the two instructions were given from Ravana to Lakshmana before he left his body. So thanks for giving me an opportunity, and any other questions or any you have, anytime, it doesn't matter, I'm always here, you can discuss with me. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.